Here's your AlabamaWX weather video for the Sunday morning, January 7th. We've almost got the first week of January in the books. That's one down, 52 to go for 2024. Going to be an active pattern across the deep south in Alabama the next 2 weeks. We'll have a little bit of everything, some wind, some rain, some pretty heavy rain, potential for severe weather, and even some interesting wintry possibilities in the next 2 weeks. Still a lot of uncertainty far out on that stuff. This is the GFS early on this Sunday morning. I'm recording this just a little after 1 a.m. You'll get it about 7 a.m. This shows that weakening trough moving through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. Brought us lots of low cloudiness, decent rainfall amounts on Friday night, some misty, drizzly conditions on Saturday, a little bit breezy. But that system is moving on out, and it will lift out and leave a little bit of ridging in its wake there from the Great Lakes down to the southeast tonight. And we should have fairly decent conditions, some high clouds, as we'll look at in a moment. Our next system is already taking shape there in the desert southwest. 534 millibar upper, or 534 decameter height upper low. Very low pressure there by tonight over northern New Mexico. That system will swing into Oklahoma during the day on Monday and move into Missouri and eventually into the Great Lakes. This system is going to bring our potential for severe weather Monday night into early Tuesday morning for the southern half of central Alabama. That system is moving onto the Great Lakes. But the next system is already beginning to sort of take shape, just in a big amorphous trough over the western part of Canada and a good bit of the western two-thirds of the United States. Finally, a little shortwave trough will develop by Thursday night. We see it swinging through Arizona. It's near Tucson and Phoenix. That axis is swinging into West Texas, taking on a bit of a negative tilt. And that generally means some active weather for us here in Alabama. And that's true. We'll see rain developing on Friday, continuing a good bit of the day. Rainfall amounts in that second system are not going to be as generous as this first one. But you see that very strong trough moving through the Great Lakes, weakening as it kind of rotates on up into eastern Canada. Our next system by next Monday, the 15th, will be coming again through New Mexico and Texas. And a pretty full latitude trough there. It's a very chilly look for Tuesday the 16th. We'll have to see what happens there, if we've got any precipitation. Then some ridging, kind of an unusual look. Ridging all the way from the southwestern United States, as you saw there, to the southeastern coast as we get into the latter part of the week 2 voodoo period. Trough over the northeast, ridging over the Rockies, and getting ready to move out onto the plains there. Another system moving into California. Now, early this morning, we've got low clouds. They've been pretty much socked in, but you can see they've already begun to erode. This is the HRRR using simulated IR satellite to kind of look at what the clouds are going to look like. You can see breaks in the clouds beginning to develop over western Alabama, central Alabama. I-59 corridor still pretty socked in, so is Tennessee Valley. But as we go through the morning hours this morning, and sunshine should be increasing at almost all locations. It may take till afternoon for the Tennessee Valley. As a matter of fact, it may take till 2 or 3 o'clock. But you already see some high clouds beginning to develop. This very active southern stream. You see these look awfully ominous, but they're really just high clouds. Of course, infrared satellite is measuring the temperatures of the coldest cloud tops, and you can see they're much colder because they're much higher and they're made out of ice crystals. So it looks like we'll have some increasing high clouds tonight. It should not be enough to really impede our overnight lows. This is kind of what your overnight lows are going to look like tomorrow morning. We're waking up this morning in the 30s across the entire area. It will be colder Monday morning, 28 to 30 in the Tennessee Valley, maybe 27, some of those colder locations, Walker, Marion County, Winston County. You know where you are, you're really cold locations. Some of you could pop down to the 20s, 24, 23, something like that overnight tonight. It'd be interesting to see how those high clouds interact with things and keep us moving there. But now what I want to do is go back to the GFS looking at the surface depiction here, precipitation early on this Sunday morning. We've got still a lot of light snow shower activity moving through the Appalachians, the Great Lakes states, heavier snows over New England, some over the Rockies there in the western United States. Now, as we go through the day today, you see Alabama is dry. Our temperatures are going to be most likely, somewhere in the well, as a matter of fact, I can just kind of show you those. Let's go back and take a peek at what those highs are going to look today. This is the look for Monday. We're going to be, well, I want to go back a day. Let's go back a day and look at Sunday. It's going to be hard to get out of the 40s, Tennessee Valley. Lower 50s in the I-20 corridor. We'll be burgeoning onto the middle 50s in the central part of, or the southern part of the central Alabama. 56, 55, 56 degrees is about where we would, kind of expect things to be. Back to the GFS maps. This is Monday morning. Low pressure beginning to develop over the Oklahoma-Texas Panhandle, 997 millibar surface low there. As we go through the day, that system strengthens to about 993 millibars. We see rain beginning to reach southwestern parts of Alabama. This is the 0Z run, a little bit slower than what we saw in the last run, and that's about what I kind of expected. We begin to think that we might see rain as early as noon on Monday, but I think the rain will hold off till afternoon. This would really be between 3 and 6 p.m. You can see the rain really expanding over west and southwest Alabama. Surface lows kind of running out of steam. It's beginning to fill a little bit as that upper low becomes so negatively tilted that it'll sort of occlude. Heavy snows on the backside from the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma through a good bit of Kansas. Very heavy snow falling over a good bit of Missouri by Monday night. And here in the south, we have a warm front lifting to the north. That warm front will, bring in some warmer and very moist air, into central Alabama. I want to take a look at kind of how that's going to probably play out in terms of severe weather. This is the warm front lifting north. This is the GFS for 9 p.m. Monday. And if you sampled any of this right here, like if you did a little quick sounding in southern or in Shelby County, no severe weather. We've got a good bit of convective inhibition. The capes are just non-existent that far to the north. If we sampled a little further south, let's go to Monroeville in Monroe County. Still no severe weather even there. The Cape is still almost non-existent. But what is really interesting is the effective shear. While it is not very impressive there, it's going to become very impressive as we go through the evening hours. As a matter of fact, the 850 millibar winds, which is about 5,000 feet, are going to be screaming out of the south at about 70 knots by late Monday evening. We see that surface low there near Jackson, a secondary surface low developing. That's always a little worrisome because you get some backing the southeast winds. Strong line of thunderstorms getting ready to move into the New Orleans area and approaching the I-55 corridor there in Mississippi. So now things start to really kind of look a little different. First, we'll kind of sample over here on the eastern side of the state. Marginally severe. You could see some severe weather develop Monday evening. Still the Cape is elevated at that point, 620 joules. Some chance there'd be some small hail. Certainly with those winds, these storms are going to be, fairly capable of producing wind damage. We're already seeing, expecting gradient winds, averaging, 25, 35 miles an hour with gusts of 45 to 50. And that is no fun. This is 3 a.m. If you go down and take that same sample, you get into Monroe County, there around Monroeville, we're definitely looking at a severe look then. Capes are, approaching 1,000 joules. The effective shear is, increasing. It's already 60 knots at these long curved photographs at this point. So the chance of severe is, becoming increasingly a problem. Now, that's about the time the peak instability is into southwestern Alabama. You see, it's moved east of there. When I ran these samples a little earlier, some of these areas, let's look at northern Mobile County into southern Washington. Definitely a tornado look. This might only be for Washington, Clark, Monroe, Escambia, Conecuh, and I think it shrinks with time. Mobile and Baldwin. Definitely a tornado look. Even some chance of some hail. We'll be watching that. That significant tornado parameter goes up to almost 2.9. Look at these shear values. Our effective shear is approaching 70 knots. Might overwhelm the instability. Always a possibility. Lots of precipitable water. The storm's going to be capable of producing heavy rain. But if you take that same sample up here ahead of the main line of thunderstorms in the Birmingham metro area, Jefferson, Shelby County, no chance of severe weather. There's just no cape there, no instability. We certainly have strong winds. We will, see those strong winds continuing through the overnight. That's going to have the potential to bring down trees, even outside thunderstorms. We'll have to watch that very, very carefully. Moving through time into Tuesday, going on and advancing, the surface low moves up into southern Missouri or into Illinois. It is intensifying as it goes at 984 millibars. That's a strong system. That's why these surface winds are going to be quite intense. Snowfall from the Chicagoland area back into northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa. Here in Alabama, the rain is moving on out. During the morning hours, the rain will be diminishing. We'll actually see some clearing. The latest run of the GFS you're seeing here, the 0Z run, keeps a little bit of precipitation in Alabama during the afternoon into the evening. Some snow showers showing up over Tennessee. Wouldn't be shocked if one of those worked its way down into Jackson County. But we should see some clearing skies. Matter of fact, the GFS now actually painting some snow flurries in the Tennessee Valley. Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Be interesting to see if that happens. That wraparound moisture, anything I guess is possible. But as we look at Wednesday, we'll be moving to mostly sunny and cool conditions. We remember that there's another system moving out of the plains. It's just going to be starved of moisture. We won't be able to generate any rain. Mostly sunny on Wednesday. We'll have a hard time getting out of the 40s over the northern half of the state. Montgomery and Auburn, Demopolis might escape into the low 50s, but no balmy day at the beach, that's for sure. Going through time, you see that system moving through the Great Lakes, bringing some more snow to Wisconsin, into northern Illinois, the Chicago area, picking up some snow. We see showers breaking out, kind of in the return flow over Louisiana. But nothing kind of working our way. Thursday, partly to mostly sunny. Will be milder. Afternoon readings are going to be in the upper 50s. Could see a shower Thursday night, but I really don't think so. I think we'll be mostly dry. Systems organizing to our west on Friday. We see a low there over central Texas. That system is moving onto the northeast. It'll be taking sort of that similar path. See some wintry precipitation breaking out there. Southern Missouri transitions quickly over to heavy snow, parts of southern Missouri, Nebraska. Oklahoma, potential for some icing there in the Oklahoma City area, Stillwater. We'll see how that goes. The pressure on that low now moving through southeastern Arkansas. Friday night, 6 p.m., we're socked in with rain here, heavy rain over Arkansas, some icing over northwestern Arkansas around Rogers and Fayetteville. I have to watch that. The system is slowly moving into the Missouri Boot Hill, pressure down to 986 millibars. That's going to be another wind producer. Look at the rain continuing into the midnight hour, into past midnight. Some cold around the backside. Potentially going to a rain-snow mix there, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, maybe even northern Mississippi. The rain will be moving out of Alabama. Now, this GFS run's got some snow, possibility, Tennessee Valley, northeastern Mississippi. I don't think it would amount to much. Let's see what the model might be thinking in terms of snowfall here. Just looking at a 10-to-1 ratio, maybe a light dusting. Tennessee Valley don't really think that's going to be a problem. We'll kind of keep an eye on that as we get into Saturday. We should experience clearing, breezy, and colder conditions. Temperatures on Saturday will have a really hard time getting out of the 40s. Montgomery may not even get out of the 40s on Sunday. But then, drier conditions through Sunday. Some snow breaking out, a little clipper system, bringing some icing to northern Mississippi, western Tennessee. That's going to be interesting. That's Monday the 15th. Some of that ice breaks, even actually makes it into northwest Alabama. That's kind of scary. We don't want to see this look. Monday night, icing there, northern Mississippi, the Tennessee Valley, snows from Nashville to the north. That's going to be interesting. But for us in Alabama, it will be mostly rain. We'll watch for that possibility of some icing. Tuesday's dry, Wednesday's dry out in the 2-week voodoo period here. Actually, we're dry through Thursday. Some showers kind of work their way back into here Thursday night and Friday. Quick clipper system moving through the Ohio Valley on Friday the 19th. And then that develops into a surface low that intensifies off the East Coast. But you see, as we get out to the end of the period, high pressure, large and in charge. Some sleet developing there on the backside, on the cold side of this precipitation coming out of Texas and Louisiana. We'll see how that goes. That seems to spread over to northern Mississippi. That cold look at that full latitude trough, some light snows over North Alabama. None of this is a forecast. It's just a possibility, at this point. Certainly going to be interesting to watch how all that sort of shakes out. Now, going back to Monday night, this is our severe weather look for Monday afternoon, Monday night, into early Tuesday. This outlook goes from the SPC goes through 6 a.m. on Tuesday. And you can see a slight risk. That's the 1 out of 5, or really 2 out of 5, I guess. Marginal's 1 out of 5. This slide is 2 out of 5. You can see the green area, that's marginal, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, Troy, down to Dothan. But, the SPC's worried about places like Greenville, Evergreen, Monroeville, Jackson and Clark County, certainly Mobile, all the way to the Gulf Coast and across the Florida Panhandle on Tuesday morning. We'll be watching that. Their outlook for Tuesday includes just southeast Alabama and goes up the East Coast. So that's going to be certainly interesting for us to watch. These rainfall totals off the GFS 18Z run showing widespread, 2 to 3.5 inch amounts in this first system, that will be out of here by Tuesday, by Tuesday night. So that's a nice, generous rainfall. We'd take that. I'm going to switch this one run ahead. Still pretty generous. Trying to skimp a little bit on the I-59 corridor, maybe southwest Alabama, but looks like healthy amounts of various northwest of I-59 and in the I-85 corridor. There. Let's go out to the end of this forecast period and see what the GFS is depicting for the whole area over the next 16 days. Anywhere from 3.5 to 3.5, 4. Narrow swath of 5-inch amounts there over southeast Alabama. We'll take that. We certainly can use the rain. This temperature is off the National Blend of Models. Showing 50 for today at Birmingham, colder to the north, a little bit milder to the south. 52 tomorrow. We'll be approaching 60 on Tuesday. Fall back on Wednesday behind that strong system. Begin to warm up again Thursday and Friday. We're getting back close to 60, but we get knocked back down the totem pole. 40s on the Saturday and Sunday. That looks very likely, and 40s are kind of common all through the period there. So we'll kind of watch that. Well, that's for the video for the Sunday the 7th. I know it's run a little long. Always enjoy doing these videos for you. I'll be back next Sunday. James will be here with 2 days all week. Scott will see you next Saturday. And until I get the chance to sit in this chair again, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky because you'll always have something fun to look at.